a quick holiday treat that I want to share with you. And for the ingredients, you'll need peanut butter, hazelnut spread, chocolate bark coating, chocolate candy coating, and graham crackers. And if you want to, you can add sprinkles and you can use white chocolate to drizzle on top. So it's real quick and easy, so I'm going to show you how to do that here today. Okay, to get started, we're going to break our graham cracker. Get 4 rectangles. And we put our peanut butter on. And I do about a teaspoon. You can do more or less, that's up to you. It doesn't matter. Here's the hazelnut spread. You can do whatever you like. I do a little less. So it does squish out the sides whenever you put it on if you have a whole lot on there. But that tastes good. You'll cover it with chocolate, so it's okay. Okay. Get that ready for dipping. And if you don't want to have a big long one, if you want smaller ones, you cut these in half. And you can do it this way and break it, or if you just want to cut it the whole way through. I kind of go for that little dot in the middle for the center. Cut the whole way through, either way is easy. And you do the same thing, just put a little less peanut butter and hazelnut. More of a bite size. These do take longer because they're smaller, so you're dipping more, but those are nice to do also. So now we're going to get ready to dip them into the chocolate coating. Okay, now to melt the chocolate I buy comes like this in a big block, and you can break it apart. And when I do a big batch, I'll put the whole block, little blocks together in there into a bowl, and then 30-second increments, and then you'll stir it every time until I have mine melted already. And it should look like this after you stop and stir. Not too thick, not too thin. Okay, so that's what it looks like after you get that heated up. You can do 20 or 30-second increments. That way you don't want it to get too hot because it won't work very well then. So I just put the whole thing in there. Cover it up. Make sure you get it all covered. It is very messy. Excess off. Put it down there. Another one. As long as it's covered, you can't go wrong. It's lots of chocolate. It's good. And we do our little ones. They're a little bit not as easy to handle, I guess. Sheet, and then we will stick this in the freezer. And it doesn't take very long at all for them to freeze. Stick those in the freezer, and then we'll put the drizzle on top afterwards. So I just took these out of the freezer. It was about 3 to 5 minutes, and they're nice and hard now. That's what they look like when they're done. And if you have a bigger batch, it might take a little longer for them to harden up, but it doesn't take more than 10 minutes for them to get nice and solid. So now you can either eat them like that or serve them like this, that's fine. But if you want to do a little bit of decorating, This is the same chocolate type chocolate, but it is white chocolate, white bark. So I just took one of the squares and melted it. And then I just kind of do a little drizzling. And you have to be quick with the sprinkles or it'll harden up and it won't stick. So you gotta get that right away. You can do it however you like, little or more. It's whatever you want to do. And you can use any kind of sprinkles, I think, would stick to this. If you like a lot of white chocolate, put some more. You can go a different direction. Make it fancy. And then you'll stick that back in the freezer for just about a minute probably or two, and it'll be all ready. And that is how you do them. They're pretty easy and they're delicious. Okay, now those are freezing. Take a couple minutes for those to freeze. And I have some chocolate left over. Sometimes you will maybe and sometimes you won't. So I have just you can use a rolling pin, just put some pretzels in and crush them up in the graham crackers. So when you have all this extra stuff, just pour it in, mix it in, and mix in our pretzels. It's a good way to use up the chocolate if you have extra, and it's a nice little treat too. Consistency should look like this. It's not too thin. It's actually kind of thick. Doesn't look great, but it really tastes good. That's what matters. So then I'll just spread it on. Just some wax paper on a plate here. It looks weird, I know, but it really does taste good. You just spread it out. Once that hardens, it'll break apart, and that just makes a nice little treat. That way you can use up your extra ingredients. So, just stick that into the freezer, probably about 5 minutes. And then we'll pull out the other ones we made and see how they are doing. Freezer. This is what they look like. And they're finished. Nice and solid. And this was a big batch that I had made earlier. And if I'm going to a party, I'll put them out on a plate or tray. How I thought of this recipe, I needed cookies for a party to go to, and I didn't have ingredients or time actually to make the cookies, so I just looked in the cupboard to see what I had and just kind of threw this together. So I used the peanut butter and hazelnut, but you don't have to use the hazelnut if you don't want to. You could probably put marshmallow cream or mini chocolate chips inside, whatever you want, just make it creative. And I like to package them up as gifts too. You make a nice gift. And you can even put this in the freezer and they'll keep for quite a while. And they are good frozen. They're not real hard like a cookie if you want to eat them that way too. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of the graham cracker sandwiches. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and hope to see you all soon.